Alright. Let me know if anybody's out there. Alright, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Let's see if we're even rolling yet. Tough stuff, folks. Probably just started rolling. It's been all day to get up and actually even get going. It actually had to turn dark outside to get going. So, James Kaufman, World News Report today, June 2nd, 2025. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Hey, Arkansas Bluesman, appreciate you. God bless you guys. I have been trying to go live with this exact video since 7 o'clock. 2 hours. Redid the router, redid the extender, redid the everything. This computer's been fully redone, and I think it just had to do with the space weather. We are getting pounded talking about space weather. I mean, I can hardly move anymore. You know, NASA's even said when it gets up to G4 levels, it is dangerous. We're electrical beings. This is electricity. So we are being affected. There is an uptick in myocarditis, heart attacks, strokes, etc., according to some of the papers that NASA has come out with lately. So hopefully everybody's doing okay. I am getting my butt kicked. Couldn't get anything going until just now, but let's get it going because we got plenty to do. Boy, I never thought that 3.5 hour, 4 hour M8.02 flare could turn into 2 days of a nightmare. But it has, or has it? Is there something else at play here? We've got to ask ourselves, guys. Got to ask ourselves, what is going on here? We're going to look at just the estimated planetary index today. And we know yesterday we had 6 hours of a G4, 6 hours of a G3. We didn't have any G2s. We had 9 hours of a G1. And we thought we were subsiding last night, but for some reason we weren't. I guess as it became dark here on this side of the planet, our sensors didn't show as much geomagnetic activity, but as soon as we got going, they got going real hard. Look at the college index here, guys, with 9 hours of a G. Is that G2, G3? Let's check it out. 7 is going to be a G3. 9 hours of a G3 on the college index. This is today's nightmare. So we did have a G3, a G2 here, and we had 12 hours of G1 geomagnetic storms. We had exactly, is this a 6-7? Yes, 9 hours of a G2 geomagnetic storm. We didn't have any G2 storms yesterday, as you can see. And then we had 3 hours of a G3 geomagnetic storm. And this is all per our estimated planetary index. Kind of gives you a summary of the solar winds and plasma hitting the planet. As you will see, this makes no sense because there are no solar winds or plasma hitting the planet. Very, very strange indeed. Strangest deal I've ever been a part of. Let me tell you, I'm starting to believe this Planet 9, everything that I've been told. Earth in the middle of the solar system, etc. Things just don't make any sense anymore. We've been told by sources all week long that We're on the last days here. We're playing with fire. Here's just another check at spaceweatherlive.com of our KP index. We're back up into a G2 geomagnetic storm for the last 3 hours, and we're expecting G3s tomorrow. G3s tomorrow. Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine that anything like this? It's hard to imagine, I won't lie to you. All right, this is the M8.02 flare that was supposed to do all the damage here, followed by a couple of small M flares, followed by nothing all day yesterday, followed by, see, that doesn't make sense. You can't have 9 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours of decent sized flaring, really nothing before that, nothing after that, and turn that into 72 hours of a geomagnetic storm. It's impossible. The math doesn't add up, especially if it's moving at 4.3 million miles an hour like they said it was, which is about 3 times faster than I've ever heard it move before. All right, we had a couple of small M flares today. We'll take a look at those in just a second, but we're supposed to still be in this area here. We've got to be in this area here. Should be nothing hitting, and there's absolutely nothing hitting our satellites. Yet we're still in a G2, and we're heading into a G3. But from what? From what? I'm starting to think that there is a exoplanet, a rogue star, maybe a binary star, maybe a black hole. I don't know what's going on, but I think the powers at B know exactly what's going on, and this is going to be a real planet killer. Now, I did find out that they snuck in a huge rock that could hit Earth on the 4th. On the 4th, as in less than 48 hours. And I have that pulled up to show you guys. They just released that information about 3 minutes ago. Bunch of you-know-whats. So it is only about 100 feet in diameter, moving fairly fast. I don't know if it would be a city killer, a country killer, or any killer, but it's inbound and they just let the information out. All right, let's continue. I'm going to leave some of this up. As you can see, we had 2 M flares, like I said, both from 4100 or AR sunspot AR4100, which turned beta gamma. It's no longer a delta class sunspot. We only had a 15% chance of solar flares. An X class solar flare, 55% chance of an M class solar flare. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Cindy. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mark. Guys, we're down to a B baseline, which even makes less sense, right? The biggest flare we've had all day is at 3.31 down here at 11:18, which means 5:18 in the morning Central Time. I guess about 4:18 Eastern Time, and or I guess is that 6:18 Eastern Time. Excuse me. And that's the M4.5, which shouldn't be a big deal either, but somehow this solar storm is turned into, and it's not a solar storm, let me rephrase that, it's a geomagnetic storm. Big difference, as we all know, right? Where did it come from? There's 4100. It didn't really come from 4100. Actually, it did. The flare that popped off came from 4100. 4099 was delta, then it was beta gamma. Now it's simple. We have a total of 5 sunspots Earth facing. This one's probably gone, probably closer to 4. We have some that look like they need to be named over here, but really nothing that should be causing havoc, right? Although this havoc was caused by, I don't know what it was caused by. I just don't know what it was caused by. I've been doing this too long of a time not to know what's going on here. There's 4100, still beta gamma, 4099. Now it's simple. Sure doesn't look simple to me. Both are generally Earth-facing. They can pop off at any time. Now, we were in a solar storm, in a polar cap absorption event. We just got out of the solar storm. We almost went up to 3 million volts of electricity in our atmosphere here. We were close. We were at 26,666, if y'all remember. They had to do that to us, didn't they? Look up there. 20,666. That's what that is. 20.666 million volts of electricity. What a wonderful number. And now we have dropped down the space weather threshold here, and we're really no longer in a technical solar storm. These are protons being ionized and really, really hurting the human or any living beings. Guys, it took me 2 hours of troubleshooting to get these computers working. I think they're going to take, whatever happens, I think they're going to take these computers offline, okay? I'm pretty positive, based on today's situation, that they're going to take these offline. I want to show y'all something real quick. Here is the plasma. It's at 3 centimeters all day. 3. Not 30, not 90. It's at 3. 3. Remember that, okay? Now look at the solar wind. It never went over 655 solar wind. But somehow we're staying in a G2, G3 geomagnetic storm. This was supposed to be a CME, i.e. density, plasma. And we're at 3. I mean, y'all just don't know how significant this is. 3.09 was the high here. And the fact that the solar winds aren't even up to 700 kilometers per second, and we're still in a G2, headed into a G3 geomagnetic storm, you can see this magnetometer just hit KP6, KP7. It's going to be a G4 again. You can see your magnetometers reading the opposite way as your KP index down here. Unbelievable. What would be causing this, James? Don't know. That's for sure, man. I don't know. No one would know. I'll put it like that. All right. I don't know why the Soho movie didn't come up. We'll load it real quick for you guys. I did have it up. I promise. We'll say howdy to everybody. Hey, Miss Crazy Kathy, Darlene, thanks for joining us. Spanky Cool in the house. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what KISS means. My dad used to teach me that. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. You saw a planet. Come on. Did you get any pictures, Tiff? I've been real tired, guys. It was all I could do just to, the basics. Look, if we get kicked off, we'll be right back. The internet has never been playing tricks on us like it is. We're going to and look at what just happened. I don't like the way this looks. Looks like we might already had it up. Yeah, we already got it up. I must have hit the button one too many times. Alright, what we'll do, guys, is we'll run through this at about 2 frames a second. And we'll probably see the large halo that they're blaming on 3 days. 3 days of geomagnetic storm. Like I said, I couldn't even get a simple story up. We have a big rock inbound I was trying to warn you guys about, but they would not allow it. Alright. Look, they cut that was the end of it. Hold on. This was the explosion right here. Happened right here on the 1st, and they cut it out. The halo explosion should be right here. We should be able to see the plasma. Watch up here. I can't believe they cut it out. That is so wild. Maybe it was on the end of the day at the 31st. We'll see here. It's coming up. Coming up. This is... Whoa, that looks like an impact. I mean, you would think that the sun would be just throwing out CMEs in all directions based on what we're going through here. This has got to be the CME then. Nothing. I don't like playing with these guys anymore. They erased both times at the CME, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it up because I'm pissed off now. So it happened on the 31st, right there at 0-100 where we were, and they didn't show any of it on their last go. Watch. See where we are? Let's see. We'll go back one more day just to make sure. Alright, it's already generated. I guess it was one day further back than I thought. We should see it now, right, Dad? So it is now the 2nd. So we had the 31st this was created, right? And that all of a sudden hit us. Now, according to them, it was moving fast enough to hit us in one day. I'll give them that. I said about 20 hours. Close to a Carrington event speed, but it was only an M flare. And it should be, there it is, look, there it is. That right there has pretty much shut down the internet and everything else going on. We're lucky with the G4 that the gas pumps, etc., did not shut down. With the G5, and look, we're talking about no plasma or solar winds right now. Nothing. 3 centimeters of plasma. It takes 10 to even break the space weather threshold. And winds at 650. That would regularly register as a nothing burger. I want to show y'all what they're expecting here. Tomorrow, another G3. And by tomorrow, I mean 7 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 4, 4 to 7. So while y'all are sleeping, we're going to get pounded again. I've personally had enough, man. I woke up sweating. It was a shit show. All right, this is finally what our sun looks like. We've got a mean sunspot coming around the bend here. I mean, it is busy. This is 4100 and 4099. And this is the sun smiling at us. A little coronal hole here, but nothing that should be that geoeffective, and nothing that should spit out solar winds more than about 700 kilometers per second. Let's get real. Look at these 2 dark filaments here, 3 or 4 of them. Very crazy, man. Wrap around. They've been in this area for quite some time here. This is just the last hour on our sun. All right, we'll watch today. Look at this. That's not a planet. Tiffany, where'd you see? High thinker. Tiffany, I've got a telescope, and there's nothing out there. I've got a $6,000 telescope, and there's nothing next to the sun. Where did you see it? What direction of the sky? Couldn't have been on the other side of the sun, because that wouldn't be doing this to us. I think maybe he's saying that looked like a planet. looked like. He probably needs a good telescope. I'll sell him mine half price. How's that? So he can at least not lie. You can see that ball there. You can see they took out from 1900 to 2300. So 4 hours of data missing. And everyone sees that silly gap in plasma. This is even sillier. They say that we just got hit by, and this is just now over the last few hours, this is 7 p.m. Central Time. This is 6 p.m. Central Time. This is 8 p.m. Central Time. It's 9:22. We just got plastered by that CME finally, right? 20 centimeters cubed is nothing. And they brought solar winds up to about 725, although they're not there, if y'all recall. Well, they might be. We'll take a look. But that should not be anything without the plasma, without the impact of the CME. We got nothing here, right? Let's see if we can see the impact of the CME. There is no CME. Look, there is no CME. There it comes. Here it comes. Bang. Now, did they get that right? Well, let's check. Of course they didn't get it right. We are still in a polar cap absorption event. Let's see if that's dwindling. Although it'll be back on if going back into a G3 geomagnetic storm here. And guess what? No bow shock. All this is going on. No bow shock, though, as I will show y'all in a second. I mean, it's a complete shit show. None of the data works out, lines up, etc. Everyone says it's CER, James, CIR, CER. I said, sweetie, they came up with that name about a year and a half ago to explain how something like this could happen without any plasma or solar winds, circulating winds, right? Bullshit. All of a sudden, after me watching this shit for 10 years, we have a whole new theory. CER. Alright, you can see plasma. Never, does it go over 10? This is 5 and 6. Doesn't even go near 10 centimeters cubed all day long. And we've been really hurting today. Look at solar winds up here at 850. They've come all the way back down to 577, and we've stayed in a solar event. Look at plasma, 0.10 with solar winds at 572. You realize this means that there's something else creating this disturbance besides our sun, right? And they damn well know what it is. All of a sudden, everything's starting to rise again. Plasma's gone. And plasma, show me that 25 centimeter, 30 centimeter hit today. Should have happened right in here when it went to 0. And what do we have? You saw it. Right in here. Anywhere in here. We got solar winds went up to 732. Come on. Now, I will say there's some elevated temperature up in here. Some of the hotter temperatures I've seen right there, at least. That's all I see here is hot temperatures. Look. The winds are at 732. Look at the plasma, 0.10. This was supposed to be a coronal mass ejection. What is that? Well, there's 4 forms of matter. There's solid, liquid, gaseous state, and plasma, right? And I don't see any plasma. Hey, I don't see any horns. Total bullshit. Here we go again. Never broke 10 centimeters cubed. So for right there, they have it at 11. This is ACE, another satellite. that studies our solar wind. And this is our plasma here. And look, we have it at 800 starting the day here. And we've gone down to around 600 according to them. Nice down stretch, not going back up. This here is not going back up like we see on Discover. So that is questionable as well. Why would one satellite give us one set of information? See it going back up? See it going back up? Of course, look at plasma, 0.10. 0.10. Look at their plasma. Probably 2 or 3. On ACE, this is nothing but a nightmare. Hold on. I think I just shut something down. I didn't mean to. Alright, all of a sudden, what they throw at us? 2025 LB. Huge inclination, over 100 feet in diameter. Coming in hot for the fourth 2025 LB. They just, well, we'll see when they spotted it. I haven't had time to look, but they just released the data a few moments ago. It's going to be a very close shave. If it does not hit Earth, it will be closer to Earth, much closer to Earth, twice as close to Earth than the moon, going in between the moon and the Earth again. And of course, they just decided to come up with this shit. And here is me proving it again. Solution date for James. I was notified today on the 2nd. And they waited till 8/12, by the way. 51 observations over one day. They first saw it, they say, which I don't believe a thing NASA, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, says. They saw it yesterday. Condition code still high. And I don't mean in a good way. 0 meaning they know exactly where it's going with highly certain. Then 9 meaning they have no certainty as where it's going. 7 is so much closer to 9 than 0. It's ridiculous. And automatic, of course, caught the rock because no one really works at these places. They just suck up paychecks, as we've figured it out. This is going to be a nightmare rock. Why? Because the inclination's high, but not on the flat plane of Earth. And the higher the inclination, the higher the speed. I believe this one's at 11 kilometers per second. The worse the deal is going to be as far as penetrating the atmosphere. Funny how they dropped this just a few minutes ago on me, right? Funny how I saw it. All right. Look, they've extrapolated that in 1933 it almost hit the planet, but nowhere close. Look at 0.000101. They thought that was close in 1933. What are they telling us by the 333? June 3rd, 1933. Is this a warning for somebody? Why would they extrapolate that one flyby when a short distance like this is not going to take, and especially at 11 kilometers per second, it's not going to take 100 years to come around. It should come around every 10 years or less. But what have they done? They're showing 33 and 3. 33 and 3 right here. This might be a warning sign to those that know. I don't know. Can see that it's coming very close to the Earth at 0.00101. It will be moving, like I said, at about 11.21 kilometers per second. And it looks like it's going to make its close pass to Earth at exactly midnight on, well, how about 12:07? First thing on the 4th, tomorrow night, really for us, but really 12:07 Central Time here in the U.S. So technically on the 4th. On the 4th, it'll make its close approach to the moon here on the 4th as well, but you can date this back 7 hours, and that's going to bring it to about 5:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. But of course, you can see that it's much closer. This is almost 0.002 here, 18 versus 0.0010 here. So you can see that it's twice as close to Earth as it is to the moon, and it is inbound. Down, bound, and inbound, right? All right, yes, of course, CERN is on full speed. Why not? What else could possibly be going wrong? Over to Soho. STO, HMI magnetogram, 4100, 4099. And really, I don't see a lot of other problems yet. We do have that active sunspot. This was taken long enough ago that taken on the 1st. So this is not a new picture. They usually give us a new one. I will say that they updated STO, I think. Yes, they did. This was taken at 8:06 tonight. All of a sudden, we have a huge coronal hole on the southern pole. We have these mean sunspots coming around the limb. That's 4100, 4099. And then we have this huge filament that could release at any moment. We also have a coronal hole in the North Pole all of a sudden. They finally updated it. Nothing else, right? All right, the backside of the sun. So the only thing we really see at the backside of the sun is 2025-025 in blue here. Everything else looks fairly, maybe 026 up here in can we call that brown? I'm not quite sure what we'll call it, poop color. And we have a couple sunspots. This one is probably going to be named tomorrow morning because it's a day and a half old, 31.5. And there it is right there. And then we have this on the far back side of the sun. Probably one of the sunspots that we've already dealt with, right? Now here's where it gets weird. If it's not weird already, here's where it gets weird. So we had at this time of the day, we had 900 kilometers per second in solar wind, according to my 2 satellites, right? This is Earth, this little ball in here. The white side's facing the sun. The black side's the opposite, facing outside the solar system. And we all know that it spins counterclockwise 365 degrees every day. This is the atmosphere here in gray. We also know that it's moving, according to mainstream science, to the left at 67,000 miles an hour, orbiting as the third rock from the sun, moving to the left at 67,000 miles an hour, also moving right at you at 544,000 miles an hour, because the sun is pulling it with it from the Big Bang right at you in this picture. What's so weird is where's the bow shock? And why is the pressure perfect around the planet? There must be pressure on all sides of it. Trust me, I've got a headache. I can feel the pressure. Where the hell is the bow shock with winds at 900 kilometers per second? I just don't get it, man. Look. I'm going to keep going. It's a shit show, man. It is. This is the biggest shit show I think I've ever seen. Look. Is that a bow shock? Hell no, it's not a bow shock. Can y'all believe the whole day, there was pressure and no bow shock? Well, let me show you what I found. We have these winds passing by Earth. Remember, Earth's only moving at 67,000 miles to the left. These winds are moving at 1.4 million miles an hour to the left. The ones in blue, you can see they're over off the chart here. The ones coming from the sun, but there's no bow shock. There's no bow shock. There always has been. My whole life, there's been a bow shock here. But here we have winds passing the planet on both sides all day long at 1.4 million miles an hour coming from behind the planet. Here the planet's moving to the left as well. The planet is the little white and black spot here, rotating, constantly getting hit by winds from the south, I guess winds from the north, although they're not creating even a bow shock. Very strange. I'm looking at some kind of secondary force of, can we call them space winds instead of solar winds anymore? Because I don't know if it's a planetary connection. I know there's no planets behind us according to NASA. I don't know if it's a rogue planet. I don't know if it's a rogue star, a binary star. I don't know if it's another solar system, up close and personal, a black hole. There's probably so many things that I don't know about out there that it could be as well. I think NASA knows what's going on, but I don't think they're going to be opening their fat traps this time. So how do you have 1.4 million miles an hour winds hitting the backside of our planet with the big solar explosion? And it would clean this out. Don't you understand? Wash it out. Wash it out. Nothing makes any sense here. Let's see what the ESA, look, I don't even think that they've been to work today yet. They're probably in the bunkers already. Probably in the bunkers already. Because this ain't been touched. This ain't been touched. They have it hitting on the 30th. That was 3 days ago. And that never happened. None of this ever happened. Look, they had winds going up to 550 kilometers per second. We're at 900. They're totally gone. Isn't today Monday? Is it some kind of European holiday or something? They're in the bunkers, guys. I think we're getting screwed big time is what I think. All right, I'm going to run ISWA. I'm not going to run it real fast, but I want y'all to see how often. Now remember, the black parts are atmosphere, and this is our GO 16. Our moon is right there. So you can see if that's 244,000 miles away, the moon, how far is some of this? And I'm going to actually slow it down from here. How far is some of this? Look at the winds fighting each other. They want to be pushing in. You see them in? See the arrows? I'm not going to go real slowly and prove it to y'all if y'all can't see the arrows pushing in from millions of miles behind the planet. Here the planet's moving to the right at 67,000 miles an hour, spinning counterclockwise. This light side is always changing. Look, that little, did you see that? That little, that's funny. Little bow shock there was funny. I laughed a little bit, did y'all? This should be red all day long. This should never be occurring. How do you have solar winds 3, 4, 5 million miles behind the planet, pushing at the planet? It's an ebbing effect, James. I told you NASA kicked me out of their group because I wanted to know how they had an ebbing effect going on without a bow shock. I said, I have a boat. I know what that is. It's where the water goes around your bow of your boat and comes up, and obviously it's not hitting the back of your boat as fast as it's hitting the bow, but it comes up and touches the back of your boat. I said, I call bullshit. and they kicked me out of their group. All right, here we are. We've got that Earth, Venus, Saturn, Neptune lineup here. I don't think that's causing anything from the backside here. Nothing on the backside that we know about. The moon's not even in play right now over on our left flank. Now, it will be soon. When that happens, what's that going to be, about the 12th? Maybe the 11th? Maybe the 11th. Jupiter and Uranus over here. Two huge gas planets. So we'll have to see what happens there. That's the 11th when the moon comes into play. The moon's a big determination as to what happens. If it's right behind Earth or right in front of Earth, and we have big planets opposite of the sun, and we have something to the right and left of the sun, we're talking about a nightmare. And I wanted to show y'all that y'all are now in full luminosity, whatever the hell that means. Do y'all feel enlightened? They have lit this up. We're in full luminosity as of an hour ago. Should be illegal, whatever's going on. The beams are right up to their maximum. Each beam is 7,500 GeV maximum. They got them right there, man. I mean, they've never run them at 7,500. That was just when the machine explodes, I guess. But look, B1 and B2, and look at them up here. This is the max. The black line here is the power of the machine. What do we got? A couple, a millimeter more to go power, but we are in full luminosity, instantaneous luminosity. I've looked it up, and I don't like what it says. I really don't. It's almost like they're bringing bad spirits, or the illuminated ones, into the world by opening portals using this silly machine. Talk about a bunch of whack jobs, guys. Talk about a bunch of whack jobs. I want everybody to say a prayer. This is getting crazy. Tomorrow we're going to have another full day of solar activity, and we've got prophets. Does everyone realize we're turning into a new age this year? After, I think, how many thousands of years does it happen? We actually turn into a new age, the planet does, this year, and that's based on the astronomical signs and where the planets are. So we're actually starting a new age per the is that right? Astronomical signs, Pisces, etc. Anyway, we start a new age this year. Thank you, Cindy. I don't know a lot about the new age, but I know that we started this year. Turning point. Neptune transitions Aries, ushering in a period of increased focus on leadership, vision, and ambition. Significant turning point. combined with the ongoing influence of 2024, signifies a shift towards social transformation, technological innovation, the restructuring of power dynamics. Astrologers and spiritual guides often view this as a time of great potential for personal and collective evaluation, encouraging anybody left alive, individuals to embrace change and step into their authentic selves. And I do want to look. It's supposed to be thousands of years before. Excuse me. Thousands of years since we've changed, and I guess. I guess we're changing into the age of Aquarius right now, and we're going to have to see what that means. All of the soothsayers, not the Bible, but all the soothsayers say that we have big problems on our hands. And don't forget, they're expecting, this is May 1st, they're expecting a supernova anticipated in the coming months, only 3,000 light years away. It's a binary star system, and I'm very familiar with it. Done plenty of reports on it for you guys. They said that it will turn night into day for days. And they're expecting that this summer. It's going to be some year. All right, guys, I'm going to be back with all the headlines for the day. Hopefully by 10:30, if I can work fast. I want to say how much I need y'all to share this. I love you guys. Stay safe. Please share. Please help us with a cup of coffee if you can. We had a couple cups of coffee bought for us last night. I posted them up on my Twitter page. You'll follow me on Twitter at WNRT007 on Twitter. And if y'all ever buy a cup of coffee, it will blast out from there, as you will see. And I really appreciate all you guys. Hopefully, we'll make it through this together, and our loved ones and family will do the same. You know, we're only about 1 or 2% of the world that realizes what's going on. Everyone else is going to work, and that's it, and paying their taxes. Such a small percentage of the world knows what's going on. It's time to enlighten somebody. So please share. 35 likes. Y'all, please give me a like. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. No one does the kind of work I do. Everyone else pretends. All right. Lots of love. Peace out. See you soon. Remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world. Hey, Nova. We'll be back. I just showed CERN was on full. Darlene, gotta be here for the show or replay it. Love you. Get us a cup of coffee.